Hello, everybody. Egan in Florida has joined us. Welcome. All right. Everyone is tuning in. I'm Hippie of the Hills is joining us from India. Chantel, 1984. Welcome. Good to see you. We'll see how this is going. This is my first stream since moving to Vegas. Yes, Christina is in the house all the way from Venice, Italy. So I hope you guys can hear me well and fine. Yes, Drew has tuned in over in YouTube land. What is up, Drew? Thank you for tuning in. This is my first stream in Vegas. Yes. Oh, did it say 8 a.m.? I'm sorry, Telly. I need to get that fixed. That is an error on my part. I hope everyone can hear me well. As I said, I might have to be still working out some bugs on the new setup, but Animal's here. He's happy. He's very excited about everything. I got my Keith Richards poster up, and it's not. There we go. Keith's hanging in the house. Keep an eye out on that picture. I'll be swapping it out from time to time. Actually, there we go. This picture is a little bit condensed for the Insta crowd, but on Periscope and YouTube, it's a pretty badass shot. Lee Kenton is here. And so if you guys are in YouTube or Periscope land, you can always shoot me comments. That's how I know that you guys are there. Tally says it's dark in here. Well, I'm trying to work that out. And Develo from Indonesia has said hello. Well, hello to you as well. So we got a lot to talk about, guys. As I mentioned, we'll get this. I have a ring light. Can you see in my glasses, Tally? But you said it's too dark. Let me see if I can turn it up. All right, that's full blast. But I have many other lights. We'll get it worked out. But if you're in YouTube or Periscope land, you can always shoot me messages. That's how I know that you guys are there, because I am restreaming this and I don't have access to the YouTube or Periscope interface. Well, thank you, Christina. Tally says that's better. All right. But listen, it's going to take me a while to dial this in, guys. AJ and I set this up yesterday. So anyway, but if you are watching this at Periscope or YouTube, make sure to engage with the content. Just give me a like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. All those things make YouTube think people like Animal and me, and they'll put us in other people's feeds, and then we can help out more people. All right. Anyway, so what's the topic? I'll tell you, Devella. The topic today is Las Vegas. And I have moved here from Los Angeles, which I spent for 10 years. And here's why I'm going to bring it up. I had, in this politically charged climate, I had definitely noticed a change from the people in Los Angeles to the people in Las Vegas. Los Angeles is a very populated city, and it's a very left-leaning city. And when I say left-leaning, let's say far left, fringe left. And because of that, people are very uptight. There's a lot going on politically. There's an election going on. We have a global pandemic. Let's just say that people are on edge, and they There we go. I seem to have cut off in YouTube land. Seems back on. If you guys can hear me over at Periscope or YouTube land, let me know. It seems I've been having some issues over there. Anyway, first day streaming again, we're going to have these issues. Anyway, so mapping is where the brain cannot recognize any patterns. So anxiety shoots up and your body goes into a fight or flight mechanism. And it goes into that fight or flight mechanism because it has lost any sense-making abilities because the patterns are not there. It takes going out and discovering and allowing your brain to settle in with new patterns. And this allows for the mind, the body, and everything to calm down. You can experience this very easily. Go to any part of town that you've never been in before. If you allow yourself to be mindful, you can feel it as you're trying to make sense where everything is. It's difficult, but it happens. The longer we're in that area, the longer we're able to map things, the more our body our anxiety comes down, our thought processes clear up, and we're allowed to think things through. So I'm in the process of making things, and I don't know how many of you all have spent much time in Vegas, but it's not a very at the moment, pedestrian-friendly city, unless you're on the Strip. That is very walkable. But outside of that, everything is highways, at least from where I'm at. I'm 5 minutes from the Strip outside of it. Today, I'm going to spend some time doing some mapping. My favorite thing about traveling, going someplace new, is just leaving and just start walking. Pick a direction and just start walking. It is the best way to map, and it will allow you to gain semblance of where you are and what's going on. And I love that process, and I'm excited for that today. Wear a hat, it's hot. You have no idea how hot it is, Tally. It's in the hundreds. However, but I'm going to take the scenic route by rolling through the casinos where I can always take a break where it's actually, they keep it AC and chill. Since being in Vegas, I had dinner at the Bellagio the other night. It was nice to see people smiling, enjoying themselves, being social. It's been a while. So, guys, I see. My apologies on all the new configuration. If we're still live in YouTube and Periscope land, shoot me a little comment. Let me know. It seems that we're running okay now, but I have a lot of podcasting to do, a lot of content to create, and I'm going to need to get that fixed up. Free Candy, it is good to see you. I remember talking to you. Or at least on the show, we were mentioning about the mass exodus from Los Angeles to Arizona. Still alive. Great. But it is a little glitchy. Okay, well, I'll look into that, guys. I'll see what I can do about the internet. And we were talking about the exodus out of Los Angeles to Arizona, Austin, and Nevada. I was laughing. I just saw 2 more friends post that they are moving to Austin. Free Candy, I hope you are ready for the influx of Los Angeles to Austin. Your poor infrastructure is already stressed as it is, at least the last time I was in Austin. I guess that was when I saw you. Anyway, so I had another topic that I wanted to talk about, but I'm a little bit scattered today because of the new configuration and everything. So let's do this. If you guys want to chat about anything, you could go ahead and post it up and let's have some fun. We can also go on. Since I had left LA and I hadn't seen you guys in 2 days, of course, we've had so much political strife. We thank you very much. Oh, Cam is in the house. Well, thank you, buddy. It's fantastic. I'm excited. Yes, everything is well, and we are having a lot of fun here at AOC, more fun than we had in a very long time, and I'm very excited. So I haven't seen you guys for 2 days. Mad political insanity. We finished up the RNC, and of course, I watched a little bit of the highlights. There was certainly a huge firework display that went off yesterday. Wow, the streets of DC were getting very mood. Tally says your mood is dramatically increased since arriving in Vegas. You have no idea, Tally. In fact, it's going to be weird having this white background. It's going to be mad hair days from now on. Yes, Tally, and other people have already noticed it. AJ said he saw the color come back in my face. This situation in Los Angeles, I also wanted to go talk about, because as I was leaving, they had started boarding up my building again for the anticipation of protest this weekend due to what had happened over the week in Wisconsin, and Minneapolis is back to being a bit chaotic. So as much as I hate it for everyone who has to navigate through this politically charged situation, I am happy to have gotten to leave Los Angeles, as the 10 days of dealing with the protests the last time was a bit much. And let's just say I understand my position in life, and I've worked incredibly hard to have it. And the complaint that I can't concentrate on my work due to protests going on may seem a bit self-centered. Point being, I still have a life, as do everybody else. And you're going to do what you're going to need to do. And I hope and certainly want to reach a consensus through compromise, communication, and deliberation, not through smashing, bashing, and killing. So that's what I have to say about that, and why I'm glad to get out, and what had happened while I was leaving. My neighbor had sent me pictures and says, you had left in the right time. They're boarding up the building again. And he had sent me pictures. And I knew that was going to happen after seeing the violence a few days ago. So Chantel says, interrupted patterns might stir anxiety, but change helps with happiness. Let me tell you, Chantel, absolutely. Not all anxiety is bad. Why are we labeling anxiety as bad? It is a heightened emotional state. And let's talk about that for a moment. A heightened emotional state is not bad or good. You have to determine what it is. The heightened emotional state is to let you know that your mind can't process what's going on, that it isn't a new surrounding, or it is seeing patterns that it doesn't like. So it is alerting you through pumping your state up so that you're conscious that these things are going on, that your mind wants you to prepare for something that it's not sure of. It is telling you to get conscious, to start mapping, to now turn on prefrontal cortex and make sense of your surroundings, because the lizard brain cannot compute what is going on. Is this live? Yes, it is live. This is my friend in YouTube, Lego, and yes, and we are recording, my friend. We do this every weekday at 8:30 a.m., and if you want to see more, there's an archive of them. He says, Lego says, oh, how awesome. Well, how awesome of you to stop by, buddy. All right, so let's see what else we got. But it feels like a weight off your shoulders. Yes, it does, Tally. It certainly does. So to go on to what Chantel was saying, that anxiety needs to be processed. It is your body's way, your primal brain, letting you know that it's uncomfortable. It doesn't know what's going on. Remember, your primal brain is programmed to recognize three things. Do we know what those three things are? Fighting, eating, the last one, guys, sex, yes. And if you can't have sex with it, if you can't eat it, if you're not supposed to be fighting it, then your primal brain is going to start heightening pushing some sensory overload for you to get conscious of your surroundings. Chance is in the house in Periscope. Logo centrifugal. If you have not been following Chance over in Twitterland, please do. He's having a lot of fun over there. And I believe I'm supposed to pop on his podcast for a bit and do some talking and have some fun. And we are going to have some fun. Chance, welcome. I'm glad that you stopped by today. So guys, I have 10 minutes left. My apologies that I'm a little bit disorganized today, more than usual, as this move has been quite chaotic, and I'm very happy for it. And we had a little bit of technical issues, but it seems like what's going fine. You let me know how the picture is, and then we'll try to get this situated over the weekend so on Monday it'll look good. Yes, that is the right logo. We are brothers in arms, my friend. Yes, absolutely. And Hennison, thank you for joining. I thank you very much. Well, I guess we can look it up. Yes, you certainly can. Oh, Vaughn, perfect. This is what I'll end today on Vaughn's question. Vaughn asked, curiosity, how did AOC start? Well, as a young man in my 20s, I was living the rock and roll lifestyle in North Carolina, Chapel Hill. I was managing rock and roll bars. I was going on the road for an extended period of time, playing music, doing the rock and roll thing. And as I started rolling into my late 20s, the music industry that I had growing up wanting to be a part of was rapidly changing before my eyes. You have to remember, I grew up in the 70s and 80s. In the 80s, I had MTV. In the 70s, well, I was a little bit young then, but I had my parents' music and records. And the idea of waiting in line to get a record that you so desperately wanted, and the excitement of getting it, taking it home, opening it up, all of that sort of tradition and symbolism and ritual had been taken from music. And as I was rolling in my late 20s, the music industry itself was changing. What was being pushed commercially was changing. The whole climate of music had changed. And I had to make a hard decision as I was rolling into my late 20s of, is this what I want to continue doing with the rest of my life? Well, that's a very difficult question to answer when you've just spent every waking moment in that lifestyle, in that dream, doing that very thing. So I turned to self-development as an opportunity to go inward, to figure it out, to ask hard questions and to find answers to those hard questions. Well, in turning inward and turning towards self-development, I had found myself very excited about the new world that I had opened up for myself, and I had begun implementing simple processes into my life that were foreign to me. Routine, structure, eating right. The quality of my life had changed so drastically, so much so that I wanted to continue down that road. Now, if you've been watching the show, like I know you have, Vons, then you know that I'm an obsessive person. So the obsession of music had found a bedfellow in the obsession of self-development. And for those two things, I sort of split and began living two lives, so to speak. But anyway, the excitement and the passion for self-development had led into all the new technology and to be able to experiment, have fun, connect with people, which led me into meeting AJ and some other business partners that we had earlier in this company and building the Art of Charm so that we were able to take this message to the rest of the world and hopefully through hard work, not only change our lives, but change the world for the better in the process. And today, Vaughn, my friend, and thank you for asking that question, you are a part of a much larger mission that I think a lot of podcasters, bloggers, and others have taken on to try to fix what ails us in a hyper informational, fast-paced society that seems at its surface to be spinning amok. However, we're going to try to point people in the right direction so that if they can have control over their lives, they will have control over their environment. And together, we can build something pretty rad. So that's the deal, Vons. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that, and I appreciate all of you guys. What instrument did I play? Well, as you can see from the guitar amp back there, I am a guitar player. And here's what's great, Vaughn. That dream or that obsession of music has never waned. And all through my life, upon moving to New York to start the Art of Charm, moving to Los Angeles and spending 10 years there, and now coming to Vegas to hang out for a bit to see how I like it, I have never once had to choose self-development over music or vice versa. I had never once been put in a position where I had to choose. And I was able to continue to ride both of those careers parallel to a very satisfactory degree where I still get to play a lot of shows. I still get to make music. I still get to make records. I still get to make music videos and do all those fun things. And I get to make podcasts and come to you live and talk about psychology and philosophy, all the things that I love about life. So you could say that through sheer will that I have been able to live a charmed life. You should do a song on the morning show. Well, if you've been listening to the show enough, you can hear a voice that is not very melodious. That is not my forte. I'm not a singer. I can bark out some backing vocals, but that's about it. Lego says, any plans on a podcast soon, or has COVID made it very difficult? Well, as you know, COVID has not stopped us. The podcasts have been coming out regularly, weekly. This week is all about imposter syndrome with Jill Stoddard. Talk about imposter syndrome. Talk about how that plays a role in how we rise to the level of incompetence in life when we're pushing ourselves and we find ourselves second guessing who we are and what we're doing. If you sit in a very comfortable life, there is no imposter syndrome. But if you are in self-development, if you are a ceaseless learner, if you have a growth mindset, you will find yourself in imposter syndrome a lot. So that is the episode out this week. It's with Jill Stoddard. Check it out. It's great. She specializes in it, and she's also an ACT practitioner, ACT, acceptance commitment therapy. And if you've been following the Art of Charm long enough, you know that the fields of cognitive behavioral therapy and acceptance commitment therapy we are rooted in those two fields. How much we present them, preach them, tell you guys to look into them, because not only can they help if you have any issues in your mental health, but also they allow you to have a great understanding of how the brain works, and you are able. Seems that I'm having a little bit of technical difficulties, but those two fields will give you an overall roadmap to how the brain works and certainly raise all of that. All right, so it is 9. Check out that episode. If you enjoyed what I had to speak about today and you want to learn more about ACT, CBT, and how to use it in your life to excel in business, love, and life, then check out the Art of Charm's Communication Accelerator. It is in the link tree. It's on our website. It's we push it around. It's our entry. It's an entry to what we do here, and it has all the best bits from our online classes, live training programs, and expert guests over the last 15 years. I got to head out. I got some mapping to do, guys. Thank you, Lego. Rob Zaff. Another of my good buddies has popped in. Hello to you, Rob. Unfortunately, I got to head out. Richard says, very, very hoarse voice. Hope you don't smoke. Breathing looks a bit reduced too. Best of luck. Well, imagine being 15 with this voice. Well, it wasn't always this rough. But as I have gotten older in life, I have matured. Some people get a little bit wrinkly. Some people get a little bit weathered. Well, my voice has taken a turn for the horse. Hey, but for those of you who find my voice like nails on a chalkboard, I get emails of people who tell me my lovely voice allows them to relax. So, all right, guys, I gotta go. I will talk to you all Monday, 8:30 a.m. We'll do it again. If you any time you want to hear me talk about something, you want my thoughts on an issue, you know where to reach me. You can write me on any of our social media. I will read it. I will write you, and we'll talk about it. All right, guys. You all have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe. Cheers.